Hello, I'm Dale Petrock. This is part two of a so far two-part series on the comparison of my Annie 1761 MSR to my CZ 457 MTR. In this case, my number one MTR. I have two of them. In the previous video, I shot ARA factory class targets, and I was using my CZ 457 MTR number 2. Here I'm using MTR number 1. MTR number 1 has a history of shooting slightly better than number 2, but it's not by much of a margin. In both cases, the rifles are stock, except for on CZ number 2, there's a jarred trigger. On CZ1, it's just a change in the trigger spring. The trigger pull on CZ number 1 is about 8 to 10 ounces, very similar to my Anschutz 1761, which has the two-stage light trigger and pulls about 8 to 10 ounces as well. So the rifles are very similar in terms of design and look. They both have a fairly high-powered scope on them. The CZ number 1 has an Antheon Argos, I believe it's 6x40, and the Anschutz has a Swamp Fox Kentucky Long, which is 5x30. So they are similar in that regard as well. In this particular video, I'm shooting each of those using a Sinclair front bag rider, which is you can find through Brownells or somewhere else. I think Brownell bought out Sinclair at some point. In any case, I'm using Lapua long range for ammo. It is very similar to Center X, just a faster version. Appears to be somewhere between Center X and Midas Plus on the faster side. So far, neither rifle has been lot tested for these, so it's a random lot of long range that arrived about 4 days ago, and so sat down, shot what I got. Using 5-round clips in both to keep it fairly consistent. In all cases, you'll see in the targets that the Anschutz has a consistently smaller spread in terms of shooting groups and or dispersion when you get to the targets. In any case, in this, you'll see the targets up here now, and you'll see the score for the Anschutz, which I shot first this time. I shot the CZ first last time. Here the Anschutz had a score of 1800 and 6X's and a 1950 and 6X's. It was really consistent, had groups run roughly in the .3230 range, and one group that actually was .19. The CZ shot very well. No complaints about that rifle, even though I'm shooting ARA on limited targets, which it is not designed to shoot. It is designed to shoot the factory class targets, which I used in part 1. Here the groups ran with it about .47, .38, .42, .67, .36. So as you can see, the groups are slightly larger. The scores for the CZ 457 were 1545 and 1X and 1395 and 2X's. So as I suspected at the end of part 1, what this shows is that the dispersion with the MTRs, the CZs, is larger than the dispersion with the Anschutz 1761. So again, I'm very happy with both rifles, and while the Anschutz can't shoot in factor class, 1800 and 1950 is not bad in an unlimited class, and so I'm not displeased with that either. 1545 and 1395 are not bad on unlimited, but they're certainly not going to compete, but it isn't intended to. It's a factor class rifle, and so In this case, the outcome, if again, I don't plan to get rid of any of them. I like them all, and they're all very solid rifles, and I have no concerns about any of them. But if I'm looking for the most precise shooting rifle of the ones that I currently own, my Anschutz 1761 continues to outperform my CZ 457 MTRs. So if what follows is the shooting, I will speed that up so you don't have to be terribly bored with it. Note that it was a nice day in the 50s. It was raining lightly, but it doesn't seem to have impacted it. There was no real wind to speak of in the video, which you'll be able to see with the rain coming down and those kind of things. But if you have questions, certainly feel free to ask. Otherwise, may all your scores be X's, and have a great day.